Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be listing off my top 5 favorite albums from 1990. So with that, let's begin. Number 5 is Beyond the Unknown by Operibium. The only reason why this is this low and not higher is because the first half is pretty boring. But the second half of the album on side 2 is amazing. Every single song is great on that one. On the second side. And the song On the Burial Ground, in my opinion, is one of the best death metal songs of all time. But yeah, great second half, but the reason why it's not on this list higher up is because of the first half. But yeah, that's my number 5. Number 4. Number 4 is Spiritual Healing by Death. This is an extremely underrated album. It actually took me quite a while to actually, warm up to this one. I guess at first I was kind of, put off because of the patchy production, but, listening to this, more and more, I kind of got used to it, and it doesn't bother me as much now. Now I can actually really, truly enjoy the songs on this album. But yeah, for the most part, there's some really good songs on this album. Let's see. Defensive Personalities is really good. Within the Mind is good. Spiritual Healing, the title track, is amazing. I love the sort of weird sort of riff, the guitar riff in it. That does sort of pop up on hold on, I have it here. There's a very no, that's the wrong album. Hold on. There it is. This EP, this one, I believe. Okay, yeah. So this is the one from the band Gruesome. That's all their releases are technically tributes to Death. There's a song on here. I can't remember which one it was, but it has pretty much the exact same bit of guitar riff that's on the intro to the song Spiritual Healing on this album. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Spiritual Healing, great song. Sorry I went off on a little tangent there. I just wanted to mention something that I thought was pretty interesting. Anyway, yeah, so, and then, Low Life is also a good song, and Killing Spree is great. But yeah, there's only really 3 songs on here that I don't think are that good. Living Monstrosity, Altering the Future, and Genetic Reconstruction. But then again, the rest of the album's great, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, very underrated, and it's at my number 4. Alright, my number 3. My number 3 is Eaten Back to Life by Cannibal Corpse. Another album that is almost flawless. There are less than a handful of songs that I don't really care for. Shredded Humans is the opening track, which I don't think is that good. Buried in the Backyard is not that good. But honestly, the rest of the songs on this album are very good. They're very thrashy. Yeah, this is still in the era of very thrashy old school death metal. Later on, around like the mid 90s ish is when death metal started to go away from the thrashiness and started to a lot of bands at that point started to get a more sort of death doom-esque sound for a bit. But yeah, very thrashy old school death metal album. The only thing that really bothers me is the fact that Shredded Humans, again, not a good song, and it's the opening track. But again, there's a lot of other songs that really make up for it. If I had to pick my top 3 favorites, I would say, Scattered Remains, Splattered Brains, A Skull Full of Maggots, and probably Born in a Casket. I don't know. A couple of these change. Sometimes my favorites are completely different top 3 on here, but that just goes to show you how great the songs on this album are. Chris Barnes does his pretty much his only good vocal performance in terms of him in Cannibal Corpse. His vocals would get worse and worse as time went on. Almost to the point where it seemed like he just didn't care about doing a good job anymore. He just wanted the money that they would give him from being on the album. But yeah, here he sounds amazing. He sounds like he actually cares about giving a good performance. But yeah, this is at my number. What was it? Number 3. All right, number 2. Number 2 is another underrated album, and that's The Eye by King Diamond. Now, this is a very, good surprise. And what I mean by that is, in terms of the King Diamond discography up until this came out, basically, it wasn't doing so well. I mean, Fatal Portrait was not that good. There was only, 2 or 3 decent songs. Abigail was amazing, though. Abigail, great album. But then after that, you got Them and Conspiracy, which are pretty bad. Like, they're not only boring, but they're just a mess. And I think Conspiracy was an unnecessary sequel. But luckily, after those 2 pretty bad albums, King Diamond released this. A very nice surprise, a very good album. There's very few bad songs on this one. I mean, I'd say my top 3 on this one would be, The Eye of the Witch, Two Little Girls, and Behind These Walls. But yeah, also there's a pretty cool back artwork on this as well, of the witch burning. But yeah, I don't think there's that many bad songs on this one. I would say that maybe, I'd say 1642 Imprisonment and The Curse, and maybe a bit in terms of the song Insanity. I think the last 3 aren't really as good as the rest, but that's not to say they're bad songs. They're just, a little bit lesser than the rest, I should say. But then again, it doesn't matter because the rest of the album is just amazing. And the song Behind These Walls has one of the best guitar solos on a King Diamond album you'll ever hear. But yeah. Alright, my number 1. Now, my number 1 is probably most people's number 1 in terms of their favorite album from 1990, and that's Painkiller by Judas Priest. This album is... Hold on, I got a little bit of lint on there for some reason. Anyway, this album is one of their absolute best. I wouldn't say it's their absolute best because there's just one album I think is better, and of course that's Jugulator. I think Jugulator's their best, but this one's pretty close. I'd say this is their 4th best. Also, this is the version that does not have the bonus track. I can't even remember what the hell the bonus track was. I don't remember what it was. But, oh, wait, hold on. Living Bad Dreams and, Leather Rebel Live. But yeah, I do prefer, even though, the audio quality I think is a little bit better on the CD, I do prefer this version because it does not have those really bad bonus. Well, I'll say Only Living Bad Dreams is a bad bonus track, but why can I say that? Leather Rebel, there it goes. Leather Rebel Live, that live version of that song is just okay. Um, but yeah, this is definitely the version to get if you don't want the bonus tracks. Um, it's an album where I think for the most part it's aged pretty well, except for maybe a few songs. The songs that I don't think aged very well are Between the Hammer and the Anvil, Touch of Evil, and Battle Hymn. I think those songs are just kind of boring now. Like, they've kind of really, really, really just started to not really. I don't know. They just don't. Yeah, to me, they just aren't as good anymore. I don't know why. Maybe it's just that those are the type of songs that just don't, that are good for first couple listens, and they're just kind of meh. Um, but like I said, the rest of the album's great. If I had to pick my top 3 favorite songs on here, I'd say, Painkiller, Hell Patrol, and Nightcrawler. But yeah, just a really, really, really good album, and it's my favorite album from 1990. Alright, so that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.